Hello, today we're watching this video. So, recently I uploaded the two most autistic videos I've ever made, as of yet at least. And when I'm literally reviewing my own video after uploading it, what do I see on the sidebar but exactly what the video's about? Oh, this is too good. Shit like this makes me believe in God. Anyway, to shorten my 4 hours of unhinged ranting, basically I brought up this thing that the Blue Archive community, but also lots of other communities have nowadays, which is this fake community of people who pretend to like the game for social clout. Grifters and tourists, right? We already had words for that. But the difference is nowadays that the tourists kind of figured out that they can just call themselves gatekeepers and do a little Jedi mind trick on people to get social reward, grift, without actually investing themselves into the autistic hobby. It's the same trick by doing something like naming your group Antifa and then using violence and intimidation to enforce your own concept of a greater good on people. Same deal. So I'm gonna take this video and criticize the shit out of it to shamelessly push my narrative. Thank you for clicking. This person in particular is acting as what I would call a culture war mercenary, a more specific type of grifter, someone with literally zero investment in Blue Archive.
Yeah, you're not just teaching at a school. I think you teach at many schools. I think you're the only teacher in the world, actually, in Kivodos. At least you're the only teacher they like.
But like a scavenging vulture, they see a yummy carcass on the side of the road and swoop in. What's that? I smell a culture war event I can grift on. If I can yap about this for 25 minutes, I could get so much praise from having the epic and based opinions. Also, this video has a zoomer viewer retention video editing with swoosh sound effects.
So for context, there are people who say, gatekeeping doesn't work. Well, maybe if your name isn't Blue Archive. And yes, there really are people who think. For example, just the other day, there was this guy Paperbag.
It's so fucking annoying. I really hate the narcissistic zoomer personality archetype so much. He started shaking the fucking screen when he was reading a quote for emphasis. Jesus. And then the thumbnail. I don't know shit about Blue Archive, but I know the meme characters like Momoi and Aru. They're from the Twitter memes, right? So I'll just throw them in along with Nozomi. She's popular with the people who don't play the game, right? Yeah, it's really funny to me how everyone who talks about Nozomi on the English internet doesn't understand her character at all. They think she's just Mutsuki too. No, she's not just a rehash of Mutsuki. She's Nozomi. Her personality's actually way more responsible. For one, she's not a straight-up criminal, she's an officer. Within that duo, it's Hikari who's the more prankster one. Even then, Mutsuki's personality is much more complex than just being a prankster anyway. But, let's not talk too much about the actual game, right? Let's get back to the fandom drama slop. And notice that every time something like this happens, some vaguely political fandom drama, the people talking about it are never people who play the game or produce any real content. It's always roaming culture war mercenaries looking for validation every fucking time. There are culture war accounts I like. I'm gonna be honest, I really like Archcast because I think he's a person with integrity and he speaks his own opinions. A video like this is just, what did the people on X say? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. I don't understand why humans waste their time listening to the takes of people who aren't even in their hobby, commenting on something to do with their hobby. Just kidding, I actually do know. It's more validating what they want to hear. Makes them feel better about themselves so they don't have to think too hard. There's so much irony in the supposed gatekeepers seeking validation from an outsider. Internet really brings out the narcissism in people. Now, just like in my other two videos, I want to quickly remind ourselves about the fandom degradation process. Step 1, the original fans play the game. They're colored in black. Step 2, the original fans include their friend, referred to as Green. He's more of a casual fan, but he's respectful, so they allow him to stay. But then Green does anti-gatekeeping by spreading word of the hobby around, which is going to attract secondaries referred to as Browns. Browns sure do enjoy the surface level and superficial aspects of the hobby, filtered down to them mostly through Green's social media posts. But they don't learn the proper etiquette of the hobby due to the lack of social pressure by not being outnumbered. Step 4 is when the clout-chasing grifters, referred to as pinks, showed up, using the hobby as a skin suit to virtue signal and beg for attention. Step 5, the low IQ followers of the clout chasers, referred to as reds, arrive. The reds are similar to the pinks, but they're a bit more stupid and need the pinks to act as leaders. and thing for them. And at this point, as you can see, the fandom is pretty much destroyed, as the majority of people claiming to be a fan are only doing so for social reasons. As you can see, everyone's just kind of hanging around, and the hobby itself has become utterly secondary. It's just an excuse to hang out with the community. So let's all think for a second. Where does this guy and all the third world quote weeb grift accounts on X land on this image? They're certainly not over here in black. Yeah, I'm thinking they're probably pink and red. The people who are here to enforce the new status quo. Playing the game is like totally irrelevant, man. Like we're just here to have fun. Come on, don't be like that, telling people they have to play the game for their opinion to matter. What are you, an elitist? They have the right opinion on lolicon. Isn't that what's really important here? No, it's not good enough. Sorry, fucking English-speaking weebs turned lolicon from a character trait into a whole sexual identity, complete with an obsession with pride. Total mind virus, what a joke. The game itself is totally secondary. It's just become a skin suit for social vampires to farm clout off of. Okay, let's actually get into the video now. Thank God for the summarize the video with AI feature, helping me speed this up by cutting up the video into sections for me. I'll use the AI summarization to get through a bit of the boring parts. The video discusses gatekeeping within the Blue Archive community, arguing that it is effective and serves to maintain the community's culture. The creator challenges the notion that gatekeeping is stupid and useless, casting it with the perceived success of Blue Archive's approach. Key points and examples of gatekeeping in the Blue Archive community include filtering incompatible fans. This video argues that not all fans are compatible with existing community culture and that filtering is necessary. Okay, yep, would be based, except that we're just not maintaining the original community culture or a culture that resembles anything like the Japanese fandom. It's not something that prioritizes the game itself, but instead we're trying to maintain this pseudo-culture that exists to promote people seeking validation for having the epic and right opinions about lolicon or culture war or like fan service or whatever. Not based, dare I say, cringe. Kinda exactly how, like, when a bunch of Tumblr homos like a certain game, they set up a little police state around the community and harass anyone who dares celebrate a straight ship or draw a character the wrong skin tone or, I don't know, likes lowly characters. That's a no-no, buddy. You need to leave. We don't do that here. Our criteria for gatekeeping is pigeonholed around one specific aspect of the hobby that we latched onto. In this case being gay ships. You either get gay or you go away. Gate kept. And then over here in this community, it's like, did I just catch you thirsting over a non-loli? I'm keeping my eye on you. You better cunny post within the next hour, or I'm rallying my group of bisexual Southeast Asian teenagers to siege your profile, buddy. No, I haven't beaten Volume F. People actually play this game for the story? What are you talking about? Okay, moving on. Fan service controversy. The creator references a tweet by Chibi Reviews stating that those who think fan service doesn't belong in anime and manga shouldn't be in the community, calling it a cold take. He's calling Chibi Reviews' take cold because it just makes sense, and it's true. This is presented as an example of policing the community against those who would change its norms. Okay, based. This is just part of the grift, though. They sneak in a little bit of based and then hope that you don't notice the inconsistency. Also, people seem to really think that Chibi Reviews is someone that he isn't. He actually cares about anime for what it is. He's not someone who needs fan service to enjoy a show. He just doesn't want moralists policing the medium, you know? Calling out anime tourists. This video criticizes individuals like Ellen Historian, I don't know who that is, for defending anime tourists who only watch popular anime like Naruto, One Piece, and Dragon Ball because it's trendy, or who try to police the community by claiming fan service is sexist. Okay, I don't really care about normies watching whatever show. What am I gonna do? Show up to their house with a gun and shoot their TV? Chad, yes. No, listen. If they start, harassing people, trying to pressure the franchise to change, obviously that's bad. But whether or not things change is really up to the integrity of the creators. If they cave and change your franchise to appeal to someone else, then that's that. The best thing you can do is make sure the developers know that what'll happen to them if the game changes, usually it's going to be a big hit to their profits. And a lot of companies have figured that out already in the last decade. And I highly doubt any passionate lone creator like a mangaka would make big changes to appeal to annoying people who suddenly showed up and demanded change. That's not something I've ever seen happen. Yeah, but these people are still gonna shit up the community. Oh, you mean like you did when you warped Blarkive into a distilled down single joke. Threw that shit in a blender so you could stand to swallow it. That's really funny. And this is funny too. So right here, he uses this very old pro gatekeeping image.
And what an anime tourist is. It's not just simply a new fan. Only watches Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, likes anime because it's trendy. Like, you get the point. Berates for something they don't like. This is basically him. Policing others in the community, thinks fan service is sexist and drawings equate to real life issues. I mean, isn't that what he did?
Yeah, let me just swap it around a bit. How to spot an anime game tourist. Only plays MiHoYo games or Wuwa. Whatever is free and requires little investment. Likes a game because it's trendy. Like how Blarkive is a based cunny-pilled game. You look so cool if you make a post about this game. Oh, it's guaranteed likes and a nice little ego boost. We'll join the fandom for the sake of placing utters. We'll join the anime fandom for the sake of placing others in the community. Did I just catch you have the wrong opinion about culture war? Have you made your daily cunny post yet? You need to cunny post to prove you're not a tourist, buddy. Berates you for liking something they don't. Bitch, did I just catch you liking Akame or Kokoriko? Did I just catch you liking the wrong kind of anime? Muscly men fighting, really? Yeah, I'm not an Akame fan, by the way. Her design doesn't even appeal to me, but I just think it's so funny how people hate on her. Thinks fan service is sexist and drawings equate to real life issues. Yeah, this one stays the same, but now it's just that the tourists have switched from yes, and that's bad to yes, and that's based. Funny how things change over time and yet stay the same.
Basically, you're a sensei. You teach at a school.
No, you don't. You don't do any actual teaching until Volume 3. You're a guidance counselor. And then he just throws in a random fan art. Nice. Then he starts complaining about Tectone.
You should just go to sleep, man. Just like a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 20. Anyways, take it easy, old man. I think this life isn't for you. This isn't for you, man. Anyways, we got all right.
Oh, what an adorable little laugh. So cute. I want to give you a hug. Anyway, I used to hate Tectone, basically for the same reason I by default don't like a lot of Twitch streamers. You know, I just see them as normie tourists. But I kind of like him now after he started speaking out about how psycho streamers really are. Tectone seems to me to be someone who's like heavily individualist, which I really like. And then, of course, there's a lot of irony in this guy telling self-made influencer millionaire, this life isn't for you, which I think he knows how silly that is, which is why you couldn't help but laugh. From here on, cancellation of influencer campaign. Blarkive canceled an influencer campaign featuring Sea Dog. I like that it spells his name as Sea like Ocean Sea Dog. Iron Mouse and Gigook due to community backlash. The community saw this as a victory for gatekeeping, as did I, as these influencers were deemed incompatible with the game's themes, particularly regarding lolis. Criticism of Sea Dog. The video highlights clips of Sea Dog making controversial comments about liking kids and reacting to an anime figure.
So, this dude is just straight up soy facing, while these guys are actually excited to see Sagiri. Why are they even in the same podcast again? Is this guy supposed to be the joke? Are we going to prison? Do you like kids, Joey? Like, I feel like I would get annoyed. Not even funny. He's not even funny.
Yeah, I watched the same video. The thing is, I'm just beyond making decisions on people I don't know anything about because of one clip on social media. All of my favorite streamers are apparently raging racist pedophiles if I believed what people on X wanted me to think. Not to say I like Sea Dog at all. He could totally be a psycho. He is a member of the Twitch elite after all. I just really don't care if he doesn't like an Edo manga sensei figure. I just can't imagine, like, cutting off one of my real-life friends for something so silly.
So funny thing with this clip resurfacing again is my reply started getting more likes. I'm going to like myself. So this dude is just straight up soy facing while these guys are actually excited to see Sagiri.
Let's see. Portraying him as someone whose views are antithetical to Blarkive's values. What values, Gemini? What are you talking about? His general disinterest in slice-of-life anime and preference for half-naked men fighting further solidified his insuitability for the community. Nothing wrong with half-naked men fighting. Don't be such a pussy.
This guy, right? This guy is just like, oh, it's so boring. You know, I gotta see lights flashing in my eyes every 30 seconds or else I fall asleep. Like, if this guy played Blue Archive, which is basically like a visual novel, like there's text and then you click, 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 click. He's not even a good fit, like, let alone with the lollies and stuff. Guys, I'm finding the one character.
Oh my gosh, he made a joke about attention spans despite the editing in this video, but is criticizing someone else as someone who would be unable to sit through a visual novel. A visual novel he himself has not even played.
So guys, I'm finding the one character Sea Dog would actually like in Blue Archive. It's not this one. There's like a specific one I had in mind. There's like this one specific one. Oh, let's see the AI. No, it's not this. Jack Blue Archive. Oh my goodness, how hard is it to find this? It's like this one. I've seen it before. It's like I couldn't even believe my eyes. I was like, I thought this was supposed to be like a lolicon game. Muscle. Oh, I gotta type something like this. Muscle mom. Oh my god, no, get that out of here. New character. Found it. Akemi. Like, what is going on? Her abs got abs on abs. Like, she's on something. This is not natty at all. What? Oh my. She has striations on her forearm. What? Yeah, Connor would like this. Sea Dog VA. This would be the one way to get him to play Blue Archive.
He went just shy of complaining about Akemi though. Felt like he wanted to, but he knew his place and he didn't say anything. Close call there. Okay, so now he's basically criticizing his perception of Sea Dog, which is someone that requires flashy animation and masculinity on screen to keep his attention to watch an anime. And I just have to ask, what's the difference between that and how people like me prefer to see cutesy characters on screen? I'm gonna be honest, what a show looks like is a major factor in whether I watch it. Apparently, like, Chainsaw Man is really good, right? Well, unfortunately, the character designs didn't appeal to me at a glance, so I still haven't watched it. Same could be said for someone who only watches fan service shows. Are you really an anime fan if you can't pay attention without boobies to keep your attention? Personally, I'd say superficial aspects like that are totally irrelevant.
The aftermath of the Trash Taste subreddit. Total lolicon victory. I read through the comments on the announcement post of the collaboration on the Blue Archive subreddit and ... Man, that fanbase looks.
Here he complains about a bunch of retards on Reddit. I have no complaints about this section. I hate all these people. Okay, actually I do have a criticism. We are currently watching a video where a guy on YouTube is reading an X-engagement slop of someone dunking on Reddit nobodies. And you, dear viewer, are watching an insane pink jackalope wannabe VTuber complain about a YouTuber reading tweets dunking on Redditors. Yeah, I'm just ending the video right here. Just kidding, let's keep going. Yeah, no, Twitter content is pretty much all trash. These people never say anything interesting because the format of the website intrinsically de-incentivizes nuance. You go on Twitter to lose brain cells, and lately I've become so sick of all the channels that exist just to regurgitate the already distilled opinions from the third world culture war engagement farm accounts. Next synopsis section, calling out community moderators and localizers. The Blue Archive community actively calls out individuals, including official Discord moderators, like Joe XYZ, for defending localization changes that remove romantic elements from the game's dialogue. This is seen as a defense against subversives and bad actors, attempting to alter the game's original intent. Good, based, call these people out. I hate localizers. I watch anime in Japanese with no subs, and then I watch it again with subs to see how good my Japanese is. But that's just me, you know. Although Blue Archive is written in Korean, so can't really do that here. He talks about the Kikyo line, which was improperly translated, and the Discord mod who was defending it. I do just want to share my opinion on this really quick. The moderator said, "The moment you show me a real-life conversation where saying, 'I want to stay close enough to you to feel your body heat' in an English-speaking country in a student-teacher context is not awkward. Also, your criticism of the localization is valid." Yeah, that's a stupid argument. That seems like a totally normal thing to say in English, so I don't really care about the cultural difference argument. But even then, romance is supposed to be awkward. Here's a really funny part of the video.
They call it the localization. They calling out the bad actors, like the subversives, like Tectone. They're calling out the localizers. They're calling out the bad influencers, like Sea Dog. They're calling out these Discord moderators. These Blue Archive guys, like, you know, these connoisseurs, they are on point.
They call out the bad actors, the influencers, the Discord moderators. Yep, and thanks to me, now we can add lukewarm grifters to that list too. Here he brings up another tweet to support his case, because we all know if you can find tweets that agree with you, you're probably right. Again, I do want to read it to make a comment. Blue Archive localization faced heavy censorship, this guy says. No, it didn't. It faced some censorship, which is bad, but it wasn't heavy censorship. This isn't like when Naked Artists got the game's age rating changed. This was some mistranslated lines. But culture war grift accounts really need to play on your emotions and get you to read the tweet longer, so they really gotta hype it up. New media is the same as old media. Who would have guessed? Official Discord mod, a communist, opposed the request. If that's true, that's crazy. Blue Archive is like really anti-communist. People like to complain that Gehenna is only ever the butt of a joke. Look at Red Winter, communist moderator, that's crazy. I'm not sure I believe it coming from one of these accounts, but if that's true, that's really silly. Then he brings up the Northernline clip of him saying the reviews on the Steam page had a dark aura. Yeah, Northernline was right. 100% based true. Thank you, bald man. Back to the Gemini synopsis. Horny reviews and racist Momoi meme. The video notes that the prevalence of horny Steam reviews for Blue Archive. Oh, you mean the ones with 1 hour in the game? Yeah, that was so funny. And the racist Momoi meme act as self-imposed gatekeeping mechanisms. Okay, Gemini's just kind of throwing out fancy words now. There's nothing self-imposed about that, but okay. These elements create an unsafe space for certain people, discouraging them from engaging or speaking up within the community.
So there's 2 ways, in my opinion. The first way is being a lolicon. The second way is being racist.
More specifically, he says there are 2 ways to gatekeep. One is to be a lolicon, and the other one is to be racist. Oh, you're gonna love me then. I'm kind of disappointed that this guy hasn't said anything racist in this whole video. Come on, my fellow American, we've got a reputation to maintain. What are you doing? I think he knows his audience is all Southeast Asian. Yep, and the irony here is that these are all brown Southeast Asians. Nothing wrong with that, you know, like my Southeast Asians, like my Indonesians. I think I'm gonna take a trip over there. What do you guys think? Indonesia trip. I want to see some of the old, really old structures.
Even these people who react with these GIFs, they're well aware of the reputation. 16,000 likes. A lot of people believe the community to be very racist.
It's really funny how he shows the Chizu tweet when he says people believe the community to be racist, when Chizu seems to be someone who's a genuine fan of the game. And the Chinese chick dressed as Momi has probably never played the game in her life. Okay, he brought up this meme. Now I have to react to it. I've never watched Sailor Moon. Actually, shouldn't it say like the transgender or something under Sailor Moon? That's usually what I see. I love Kill la Kill. I love Gabriel Dropout. It was so much better than My Dear Friend Nokotan. That show's actually garbage. Please watch Gabriel Dropout instead. It's like exactly what you're looking for, but just way better. I love Tanya the Evil. I don't know what that is. That should say the there's nothing pedophilic about girls, whatever, frontline, or girls on Panzer. Those should just say the autist. Oh yeah, I like Panty and Stocking. I like those last 2 shows. And I've actually never seen K-On!, nor do I have any interest in it. I mean, it's not even a waifu show. Like, there's no fan service. Who would even watch that crap anyway?
A prime example of what happens when you leave these people uncontested is Uma Musume, at least in the West. In a nutshell, my favorite insert random Uma is gay with insert random Uma. I drew my favorite black. Stop shipping my favorite with the trainer. By the way, the trainer is male. If the trainer was female, it would be perfectly fine because it would agree with their first point. Get these Diddy bloods out of the community. Cygames hates you, and these people are not the target audience.
Okay, here we go. A prime example of what happens when you leave these people uncontested in Blue Archive, at least on the global server. My favorite student is fucking the teacher. I drew my favorite student as a loli. Stop shipping my favorite student with another student. Get these woke tourists out of the community. Yeah, you see how easy it is? You're all the same. I hate all of you. And then at the bottom says, you are not the target audience. I mean, photoshopping a character with your preferred message. Gay. Anyway. Yeah, this is basically just posturing because, you know, dude on Twitter virtue signaling to his followers doesn't decide who the core audience is. Cygames does, and Cygames wants that money. They want that money, yes sir. One thing that's funny about Uma Musume though is I'm pretty sure it's against their fanworks terms of service to sell pornographic fan art of the characters for like licensing reasons. So, I mean, people trying to label Cygames as the uber-based anti-woke pro whatever game is kind of funny. That battle's already long lost on the Cygames front. First, you need to go to Grand Blue and like get them to remove all the gay characters and whatever La Diva is.
We're not the tourists. Uma Musume was literally made for lesbians. If anything, you're the tourist.
We're not the tourists. This game was made for lesbians. Yeah, that's just fucking ridiculous. This game was made for people who give it money. Cygames doesn't give a shit what your sexuality is. But again, you could just swap lesbians for like lolicons and like suddenly this whole thing becomes totally fine.
Uma Musume literally has a 90% male audience. And in this chart we see on the left side is more males, on the right side more females. Uma Musume clearly on the male side, and funnily enough we got Blue Archive, which is arguably more masculine.
Oh god, more engagement farm accounts. Blue Archive is mostly male? I mean, obviously, but that far to the left, really? I thought Blue Archive had a lot of female fans.
All we're asking is something very, very simple. We don't want to see these opinions that are so confidently stupid, right? How can you be so confidently wrong? If you want to do that, you can go do it on Blue Sky.
Oh, what a great sentence to end on. I'm not even gonna say anything to that. Yeah, this video's a joke. This person has nothing interesting to say. Gatekeeping is based. Yep, no shit. Get a little more specific though, yeah? This video pretty much just exists to regurgitate what NPCs want to hear from the perspective of an outsider they're seeking validation from. Totally boring. Here's what I'm gonna say. Don't waste your time with X engagement slop and rage rallying. It's a total waste of your time. Grifting will steal your soul. Instead, focus on yourself and your friends. And if you don't have friends, I get it. But the place you're going to find good friends is not in weeb spaces and social media. I promise you, I've been there, I've done that. They're not good people. Alright, with this little trilogy of videos I've made, I think I've properly made my case over the Blue Archive community issue, so I don't think I need to talk about this again. Unless something else happens. Thank you for watching.
I said, how the hell you gonna snoops in the fucking lane jootin' noops if you ain't got no poople snoops? The poople snoops is the fucking the boo noon chicken lane dootin' noops, you know what I mean?